So it's still early morning. The sun is starting to come out. We've had a break from the rain. And I just want to show you the progress of my garden. So I'm going to start with the eggplant over there. So this one I can't put it aside because it's sick. It has blight. But also we have a lot of ants attacking it. So they are busy mining their aphids. So I'll sprayed it with some insecticide. As you can see, the aphids are dying. It has already bought some fruit. So this is a Black Beauty variety. So I'm just keeping it aside so that it doesn't infect the others. Now we can go ahead with our other eggplant. As you can see, this one is healthy. The leaves are nice and broad. And it has a couple of fruits already. So we have this one over here. Then we have these small ones starting to come out, as you can see. So this one is a little bit healthy. So I have an issue with ants. I have to find somehow to kind of eradicate them. You see that eggplant is okay. Then over here we have our leeks. They are growing well. And this is the most aggressive weed we have. I think it's called, is it purslane or something like that? Purslane. I'll put the name on the description. So we just have to weed them and give the leeks some space. We have another eggplant over here starting to bear flowers. And then down here we have our garlic. As you can see, these three, they have been crushed by our kitten, but they're doing okay. And then right here I have my potatoes. So I just planted these ones to see whether they can grow in our cold weather. As you can see now, we're in our subtropical winter. So they bore flowers, and this one is starting to die out. So maybe I'll just wait for this one, which I planted a little bit later, to kind of mature, and then you can see how many potatoes we'll get from that one. Then on this other side, I have my Chinese cabbage. So I had to shed them from the extreme sun that we had from January. So as you can see, they have recovered. They are now growing well. You can see the leaves are now big and green. They also have some cabbages over here. I'm just waiting for them to establish, and then I'll transfer them to our main garden. But as for the Chinese cabbage, they will stay here. Then we'll see how we'll harvest them. And this is my green wall. It's continuing to grow, the Malabar spinach. And then now we're going to go to our tomatoes. So they've started fruiting, and this is the first time I'm having any success with tomatoes. As you can see, we have fruits, we have a lot of flowers coming up. So I think this is going to be a nice harvest. You can see how bushy they are. So all of them have bore some fruits. So we'll continue waiting for them to grow. Then we'll have our first harvest. And over here I have some cauliflower, which I'm going to transplant soon. So I'll give them a couple of days, then I'll transplant them. And over here we have our coriander, which is very old. So I'm going to plant more coriander here. And also on this other container, which we have our spinach. So I'll plant a couple of herbs, coriander, mint, and also this bed that I had forgotten to show you. So I'm preparing this bed, and I'll plant a couple of herbs over here. And then I'll bring like 2-3 potted flowers just to help with the bees. Then on this row I have my red cabbage. So as you can see, I planted quite a few, and this is the biggest. You see those nice plump leaves with the amazing color. So I removed some of the old plants. And then on this other row I have my green cabbages. So this one's a little bit big. I have a smaller one over here going on this whole row. And then this one was the oldest one. As you can see, it has already formed a head. So we'll wait and see if it can become bigger. And then on this other row also we have our green cabbage. Then on the last row, which I'm going to harvest our carrots. So I forgot to thin them out. So as you can see, they are very close together. So here I'll just get some small carrots, like on this container. As you can see how squeezed they are. So these are going to form really small carrots. So I'll harvest these ones. Then we'll plant our cauliflower. And I also have, what do we call this one? Broccoli. I also have broccoli. And then on this sack, I have my beets. So I've been harvesting the beets one by one. And I had a couple of big ones. So this is a small one. Let me see if I can find a bigger one over here. So this one's also packed together, but beets can grow together. So this one is a little bit bigger. So you can see this one. So I'm going to harvest the rest of the beets. And then we'll plant something else in this container. Then over here, these are our sukuma wiki. And then finally we have our peppers. So now that the cold season came through, they're going a little bit dormant, but I've harvested quite a few. And then this one has still a few green chilies. There's one turning red over here. So I'll just wait for them to continue ripening. We'll harvest, then they'll come back as the weather warms up after we finish our subtropical winter. So that will be until July. So that is the tour of our garden. So we have our tomatoes and the eggplant at the back, our red cabbages here in the middle. Then right at the end we have our peppers, and this is where we're going to transplant our cauliflower and broccoli on this line that we harvested our beets. And also you can give me a beet recipe that you like us to try. So I'm going to make a beet salad with this one. So hit me at the comment section with your recipes. Then you're going to try them. And also in these 3 containers that I told you, I'm going to plant some herbs. You can tell us which herbs you want us to try and plant. So I have a nasty flu. I'm going to try the usual, lemon and ginger. So if you have any remedies, organic remedies, you can just hit me up at the comment section. So someone else just told me to stand upside down for 30 minutes. I don't want any voodoo problems. So kindly give me any organic remedy you know, just to try and fight this cold. So see you next week for another garden episode.